what's crafting YouTube, it's Clements back on the mic, and today what I've got for you guys is the best class setup for the C58 assault rifle, which came out this season. So it's relatively new, and this thing melts at range. It's basically the AMAX 2.0 but less recoil. In this gameplay that you're seeing right now, I did pair it with the MP5, the Cold War MP5, and I've got a best class setup video for that thing. It was the previous video on my channel. We leave a link to that in the description down below, and it's a max speed build. It's honestly, you run around feeling like Sonic the Hedgehog basically. It's really fast. So if you guys are interested in that, it will be in the description down below. So after you've checked this video out, go ahead and check that one out and just try these two guns out. So the C58's fire rate is pretty slow, but it more than makes up for it with its recoil pattern, which is really easy to control. And this gun shines the most at really long ranges. This thing's bullet velocity at really far ranges is insane, so you'll be hitting your shots more precisely, making every shot count. This thing is basically the meta of Season 4 at the moment, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. So kicking things off with the muzzle, we are using the traditional agency suppressor, which gives you obvious sound suppression, vertical recoil control, bullet velocity and effective damage range. Moving on to the second attachment, we are going to be using the 18.5 inch Task Force barrel. This thing is a must have, it's the most important part of the setup. This thing gives you bullet velocity, horizontal and vertical recoil control and even more effective damage range. When using this barrel as well, I feel like it gives you an extra free attachment slot for an extra attachment, because I feel like it helps in terms of recoil control more than enough, to the point where you don't even need any foregrip. Any sort of underbarrel on this gun when using this attachment is seriously not needed in my opinion. So with the muzzle and the barrel out of the way, moving on to the ammunition side of things, we are using the Salvo 55 round fast mag, because ammunition is everything on ARs, and also I like to reload fast when I'm under pressure. I want to be able to take out 2-3 enemies at a time without having to reload. And in terms of ADS, you will see that it does take away aim down sight time. It does take away quite a bit, but for me, at range, which is when I'm going to be using this gun the most, aim down sight time doesn't really matter half as much as it would on my secondary, like an SMG like the Cold War MP5, which I am using with the C58, and my setup for the MP5 is really fast, so I'm using one gun for close to mid-range engagements, which in that case I would need really fast ADS, but for really far ranges I find that it doesn't matter half as much, and it's just best to go with the extra ammunition side of things. But that's just my preference. You guys can put on whatever you guys like. You might want to go with the standard 55 round drum, you might want to go with the standard 45 round drum, so there's no ADS penalty. It's completely up to you guys, but I just like to go with the 55 round fast mag. Okay, so as mentioned earlier, in terms of recoil control and stuff like that, the barrel handles that more than enough, so I don't feel the need for an underbarrel, which leaves us an extra attachment slot, which I will be using up with the airborne elastic wrap. This thing adds 30% extra ADS time, which does combat some of the ADS cons from the muzzle, the barrel, the magazine size. It adds flinch resistance and aim instability. Using this attachment does take away some of that ADS firing and just standard firing movement speed, but that's okay. I feel like the pros outweigh the cons, and it does take away some sprint to fire time, but with using this gun at range, sprint to fire time does not matter whatsoever. That would only really matter on an SMG or just a close range weapon. And for the fifth and final attachment, we are going to be using the XAL Arms 3x optic, which obviously gives you 3x zoom, making long range engagements a lot easier. I feel like using this is a given now. It's the closest clone to the VLK optic from Modern Warfare. So yeah guys, there you go, there's the class setup. Hope you guys have found today's video helpful. If you have in any way, shape or form, let me know by leaving a like and subscribing. Also be sure to check out the MP5 class setup video in the description. Trust me guys, use the C58 and the Cold War MP5 together, it's absolutely insane. I wouldn't in any way say that C58 is in need of a nerf. I wouldn't say it's overpowered. There's always going to be one gun that's better than the other. I think the meta right now is pretty open and balanced. I think Raven Software have done a really good job of that. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there, so take care guys and peace.